Hey everybody, welcome back. It is time to talk about some of the best Pokemon from each generation, and today we are going to have that discussion about flying types. First and foremost, if I may say, as of recording this video, the first 4 have come out, and the support has been absolutely incredible. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the series, and if it's something that you enjoy and you want to see more of, please go down in the comment section below and give me some suggestions of some things that you would like me to do after this. I would be more than happy to potentially consider some of you guys' suggestions, and you know, maybe I can put something really good together. So if you haven't seen the videos previously, make sure you subscribe, because that means that you're not subscribed if you haven't seen them, and that's pretty straightforward. That's my intro. I didn't rehearse it. I just went for it. I hit the recording button, and I went for it. So, what are the best flying Pokemon in every single generation? Well, we got to start with Generation 1. And as you can see, I'm going to scroll over a little bit so you guys can see them all. And as you can see with Generation 1, there are a lot of great flying types. Obviously, there's Charizard, right? Obviously, there's Pidgeot. Obviously, there's Golbat. Obviously, there's Gyarados. There's Aerodactyl. There's Dragonite. There's even Dodrio, who I think is extremely underrated. But the one thing you guys are not considering, right? Nah, I'm just kidding. It's obviously Charizard. Gyarados would probably be a close second for me. I think when I think of Gyarados, I don't think of him as a flying type, but he is just such a powerful Pokemon. But let's consider this specific one, because it was so close between a couple, of how good this Pokemon was in its generation. And in Generation 1, before the physical special split, before there were a lot of good flying moves, it's Charizard. Gyarados' moveset was trash in Gen 1 as well. It's Charizard. I just don't see a world where it's not Charizard. It's Charizard. Generation 2. I think we know where I'm going with this one, guys. I think it's pretty obviously Gligar, because of course it's... No, guys, it's Crobat. What did you think I was going to do? I probably should have waited a little bit, because I feel like somebody would have been really angry and would have immediately started typing their comment, and then I would have changed my mind. Yeah, no, nothing is viable on this list, guys. Nothing is viable on this list. There's an owl that isn't a dark type for some reason. There's a Ladybug who looks like he has baseballs for hands, and I'll tell you right now, Ledian is one of the worst Pokemon they have ever created. There's Togetic, who's not like that bad, but definitely needed another evolution. There's Xatu, which is cool typing-wise, but just incredibly weak. There's Jumpluff, who's really fast and incredibly weak and gets horrible moves. There's Yanma, which really shouldn't even be a Pokemon. There's Murkrow, which really shouldn't even be a Pokemon. There's Gligar, who really shouldn't even be a Pokemon. And there's Delibird, and the only reason people like Delibird is because of Shady Penguin, who I'm also a big fan of. So I like Delibird as well, but that doesn't mean that he's a good Pokemon. Mantine is trash. Skarmory's actually good, but he's not Crobat, because Crobat's the fastest in the game. And as I mentioned before, legendaries do not count. So that's what we got to go with. Generation 3. It's Swellow. Swellow is one of, if not the best regional bird ever made. Talonflame, Swellow, Corviknight, and Staraptor are the best 4. And Swellow is just so good. It's fast, it gets great moves, and I don't see how anything on this list could be better. Altaria has great typing. Dragon Flying is awesome. But here's the problem. It's not very powerful. And if you consider, again, in its generation, all of the dragon moves that Altaria learns are not physical. They're all special. And that hurts Altaria, because she does no damage at all. Nice and bulky. Makes the 6th gym in Hoenn difficult, but still, not enough. Not enough. Generation 4. Generation 4. Here we go. I just talked about Staraptor. And of course, Staraptor is the answer to this question. It can't be anything else. There's no world where Staraptor is nothing but the best flying type, and one of the best flying types I've ever made, period. Staraptor is basically take Swellow and make it better. That was Staraptor. It was the exact same concept as Tailo and Swellow, but better. That is Staraptor. Generation 5. Oh, wow. This was not a good generation for flying types, was it? I don't mind Mandibuzz. I don't mind Unpheasant. I don't mind Swoobat. I don't mind Sigilyph or Archeops even, but they're still all really bad. Am I going to have to go with Braviary? I'm going to have to go with Braviary. Braviary, if it wasn't for Defeatist, it would be Archeops, but because it's not, I got to go Braviary. I think Braviary is still a decent Pokemon. It's a lot more iconic now than it used to be thanks to Pokemon Legends Arceus and its Hisuian form. It's a cool Pokemon. It's a really cool Pokemon. I don't think there's anything else you can say about it. It's just, like, pretty good. That's all I can say. Gen 6. All the Vivillon forms are on here. Well, it's between Talonflame and Hawlucha, and let me tell you something. Talonflame is absolutely the best regional bird they've ever created. It's Talonflame, okay? I like Tailo. I like Swellow. I like Staraptor. I like Corviknight. Talonflame is the best regional bird ever made. You guys have been saying in the comments on all the videos, starter sweep, starter sweep, starter sweep, starter sweep. Like you're seeing it coming. This is a regional bird sweep. This is a regional bird sweep because I feel like there's going to be a Corviknight right around the corner. I feel like there is, but I need to see everything from Gen 8 before I totally make up my mind. But I feel like Corviknight is right around the corner. Gen 7. It really sucks. It really sucks that that Decidueye lost its flying and not its grass. Not that Grass Ghost isn't a cool type, but I feel like Ghost Flying would have been a little bit better. Because it's an owl. Regardless of that, it's not the strongest. It's Toucanon, which is not like a terrible Pokemon. But is it perfect? Is it something that we look at and think, wow, that's such a great Pokemon? No. But is it another regional bird on this list? Yes. Generation 8. All right, yeah, you didn't even have to ask me. It's Corviknight. Come on, guys. Corviknight is one of the best Pokemon they've ever created, period. It's basically a better version of Skarmory, and Skarmory already was a really underappreciated and undervalued Pokemon. Corviknight came out, and people immediately realized that they took Skarmory for granted because this typing is so good. Steel Flying, it's so good. Corviknight, absolutely. And Gen 9. It's obviously Iron Jugulus, but I'm not going to count him. I would consider him a gimmick form because he's a Paradox Pokemon of Hydreigon. So I'll say that. And that leaves me with Kilowattrel, which I actually think is an underrated Pokemon. Electric Flying is getting to be a more and more popular type. But Kilowattrel, you can give it, I believe if I'm correct, you can give it Volt Absorb. It gets Volt Absorb as an ability. So then that's completely canceled out. And then all you have to worry about is your flying weaknesses, really. But that's it. I still think it's a pretty good type. I get no complaints about it. But what is the best flying type that they have ever made? Guys? What do you think I'm going with here? It's Talonflame. Talonflame is elite. And it is by far and beyond the best flying type they've ever made that is not a legendary. This thing's typing is amazing. This thing's attack stat is amazing. This thing's attack speed is amazing. This thing gets incredible moves, and you get it early in the game as well. It takes care of so much business in its own generation, and still to this day is one of the best Pokemon they've ever used, and it wreaks havoc every single time you use it. That's my list. Let me know what you guys think. I'm personally pretty happy about this one. I think this one is a little bit less controversial. So give me your list in the comments down below. And if you made it this far, regional bird sweep. Comment regional bird sweep if you made it this far. Thanks so much, guys, and I will see you tomorrow for some psychic types.